I see, shout out, I see. Yeah, let go. Hey.
How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Peace be upon all my Akhis and all my sisters out there. Welcome to Split Decision. I'm your host, Akhi. To my left is
Professor Nims.
So if you need some education, because your favorite fighter lost last night or got exposed, you tuning into the right show because we about to spit the whole truth. And if you're allergic to the truth, then truth will hurt. However, if you embrace the truth, it will set you free. Now, that being said,
hold on. So before we get started, I want to say one thing, because there's this notion that somehow that I'm a hater.
Oh, you an Arrow hater for sure.
Somehow that I'm a hater, that I hate Arrow and all. I'm like, yo, Professor Nims, the hater. It's like, really? Is that what y'all think of me? Nah, is that what it is? That I'm just a hater? I'm like, I'm flabbergasted.
We're gonna get into that, but I think it's because of I think they think because you give Arrow a hard time, but they say you don't keep the same energy with Loma. But I don't know if we talked about Loma yet. I don't even know.
No. But with that said, I want to let everybody know out there that let it be known, like we said, we want all the smoke. So if you got something to say, comment and everything, but like use facts, right? It's just a bunch of ad hominems.
Yeah, so in the comment section, if you disagree with somebody, you can't just call somebody all type of names. Bring up what he said and counter it. And we're going to have people call in too, so we're going to get to that. You know what I'm saying? Like Professor Nen said, we want all the smoke. Now, that being said, Gennady Golovkin last night, he fought, and he a good boy. But Derevyanchenko was definitely a bad boy. So what you going to do? What you going to do when we come for you? Now, we know Bad Boy 3 came out, and there's 3 bad boys in the middleweight division. That's Derevyanchenko, Charlo, and Andrade. Now, Gennady Golovkin fought one of them last night. In my opinion, he got exposed. In my opinion, Derevyanchenko won 8 rounds to 4.
Wow.
But Gennady Golovkin did score a knockdown in the first round. However, I still had Derevyanchenko winning that fight. Now, how did you see the fight? Do you think it was a robbery? Your take on it.
All right, so full disclosure, so I kind of pieced the fight together. I didn't see it in its entirety. But one thing that I will say is that the writing is on the wall for Triple G.
And what does it say?
It's you better cash out right now. You better. I don't even know if he's gonna last through his contract with the Zone at this point. I saw him hurt for the first time. Like I've seen him take massive punches. I've seen Canelo drop hurting combinations on him. I've never seen him wince in pain like he did in the fight last night. He's getting up there in age. Father Time is undefeated, and it's not looking good for your boy Triple G at this point. I think Canelo need to go ahead and take that fight quickly. I think he could possibly score a knockout.
Yeah. Now, Canelo did hurt him to the body, but it wasn't as telling as last night. Gennady Golovkin was looking like Keith Thurman last night. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
One time he get hit one time to the body, like he like screaming it out without saying any words. You know, his body language wasn't how it used to be. He used to just walk through punches. But I always told people that Gennady Golovkin is soft to the body. Like he got a granite chin, but his body was always there to get hit with body shots. And Gennady Golovkin doesn't counter. Like if you pay attention to Gennady Golovkin, especially the fight last night, he would let Derevyanchenko throw his combinations till he stopped. Then he was like, okay, my turn. Like, you cannot do that as an elite fighter. No. You got to make somebody pay for throwing 4 or 5 punches. Derevyanchenko, at certain sequences, he will catch Gennady Golovkin with like 6 punches, and Gennady Golovkin would not answer. 6 unanswered punches. And it just made Gennady Golovkin look bad. And even after the fight, he stated it was Derevyanchenko best, but not my best. But it was Derevyanchenko who had a deep cut, like Tyson Fury did, and still fought on from round 2 like he didn't have a cut. You know, it was Derevyanchenko that was going through adversity from cuts from being bothered and stuff, and still won the fight even though he got dropped in the first round. I feel like they robbed my man Derevyanchenko of his victory. He beat Gennady Golovkin in the amateurs, and he should have beat him in the pros. But apparently, there's no justice in the sport of boxing.
I mean, boxing is a business, and we've seen some shady decisions before. I think they're trying to keep that trilogy fight alive between him and Canelo. So one thing, we didn't kind of talk about this, but because I think the writing's on the wall and for Triple G, how do you think that his career is going to be viewed?
Well, man, you done went to the next topic already. You
Really?
knew what I'm about to bring up, didn't you? Now, that my next topic was, GGG blamed the bad performance to him being sick. And he also claimed that, that wasn't his best performance. It was Lord Derevyanchenko's best performance. And keep in mind, Jim Lampley, in the lead up to the Canelo fight, he stated that if Gennady Golovkin does not beat Canelo Alvarez, his career is a failure. And keep in mind, Jim Lampley, it ain't no hater. You know how they call you Errol Spence hater? Jim Lampley is not no hater. Hold on. We're going to get to that later. But Jim Lampley is not a Gennady Golovkin hater. That's his biggest supporter. But he thought Gennady Golovkin was going to win the Canelo match. Yeah. That's why he stated that. However, even though Gennady Golovkin had the chance to prove himself, he ended up losing that match. He was supposed to fight Mexican style, but he ended up fighting Muhammad Ali style. Just the way he fought against Derevyanchenko. He threw, I don't know if you know, but Derevyanchenko landed 239 punches, I believe. That's the highest count punches that been landed on Gennady Golovkin. Yeah. So that being said, I believe he got exposed because every time he stepped up, he fought different. He looked bad. He get exposed. For example, Daniel Jacob. That's his first step-up fight. After 20 title defenses, he ended up getting exposed in that fight. A lot of people felt Jacob won, including me. The first time he fought Canelo, it was a draw. Second time, he lost to Canelo. Then he fought a couple bums. Didn't want to fight the like of Charlos and Andrade. And now he fight Derevyanchenko. Another loss in the book, in my opinion. They gave him a gift decision because the zone had it for Golovkin one round up, even though that's their cash cow. They paid him all this money. So they're not trying to lose out on all this money. That's why Gennady Golovkin won the fight last night. It's due to politics why Gennady Golovkin won the fight last night. It's not because of his skill. It's not because he is a good boy. None of that. It's because of politics and the investment that the zone invested on him. And Derevyanchenko was an Al Haymon fighter, so it didn't make no sense for them to let an Al Haymon fighter come defeat Gennady Golovkin and steal the strap and go unify with Charlo. So they were like, you know what? We're going to do what we always do, which,
You know who's probably sitting back and smiling right now?
Who? Canelo.
His former trainer.
Oh, yeah.
So I ultimately think that his career is going to be viewed as a failure. And I'm trying to think of his most significant win. And
what is it?
They're probably going to say Jacobs.
Lemieux? Like, he didn't even really win that fight. I'm talking about a fight where he won convincingly, like without any.
Not Lemieux. He's a very limited fighter. He's been exposed by. I think that Billy Saunders just exposed him.
Yeah,
and
but
showed how limited he was.
You said Daniel Jacob, but people thought Daniel Jacob won the fight. Like, so how is that a good win?
It is, but for example, when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Marvelous Marvin and Hagler, a lot of people, that was a thing, but it's still credited as a win for Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah. Now I see what you're saying, but Hagler was a monster and Sugar Ray was moving up in weight. You know, but Daniel Jacob was a guy who got knocked out before, leading up to that fight, and Golovkin was the destroyer. So Jacob edging it, and they gave it to Golovkin because they wanted the Canelo fight. I mean, if Golovkin lost at the time, it's the same situation now. Yeah. Oh, they wanted the Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And at the time, he didn't even fight Canelo yet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I see what you're saying though. I understand because it's a win, but at the end of the day, it's still a bad look.
Yeah,
you know?
I just think when you just go over his career record and look back on it, it's just going to be almost a failure to launch. With that said, I think that he's going to have what I don't think he's going to have that hard of a time landing a fight with Canelo. Right now we're not sure what Canelo's going to do, so he's going to have to put on a substantial amount of muscle to compete at the 175, which is the light heavyweight limit, and then to be able to come back down there. I think he's going to view it that I'm going to make money regardless, so I'm not going to. So, but we might see a trilogy fight at 168. So don't be surprised if that comes in.
I mean, it's like this, man. As far as what he does in the future, it won't matter if he's not willing to fight Andrade, Charlo, and win those fights.
No way.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Now, it's funny you bring up his old trainer. You know, his old trainer used to ride or die for him. He's what kept Gennady Golovkin relevant and hyped him up, and like he was arguing with Dante, and Dante used to like put him on the spot, and this dude put his reputation on the line for Gennady Golovkin. Yeah. And what he do with his trainer, he threw him under the bus as soon as he got a little cash. So that was kind of a low blow by Gennady Golovkin. You know, he act like he this good person, but as an honorable man, that you see this guy ride or die for you on more than one occasion, put his reputation on the line, and look bad in the media. And all of a sudden, you don't want to pay him 10% of what he deserved as a trainer. You want to pay him 5%. So, you know, that was kind of a low blow by Gennady Golovkin. But the reason why his career is a failure, you know, a lot of people say, oh, how is his career a failure when he made all this money, when he defended his title this many times? You know what I'm saying? But if you comparing him to a Dominic Wade, obviously his career is not a failure. You know what I'm saying? But if we comparing him to what the media hyped him up to be, like media had this dude as
it's one of the greatest middleweights.
Yeah, man, they put him on the list of the past 25 fighters of the past 25 years when he didn't even fight nobody at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like they was placing him there off imagination. On top of fighters like Prince Nassim Hamed, Barrera, Morales, all these great fighters. He skipped all these guys. And he ain't fought nobody at the time, right? And now he getting exposed, making them look bad. And according to Jim Lampley, his biggest supporter, his career is a failure. I know he didn't anticipate the loss to Canelo, but he didn't even fight Canelo how he should have fought him with that Mexican style and still lost that fight. Now, that being said,
he's going to, I just want one thing. Yeah, he's going to take a deep dive on the pound for pound list. So
he ain't even on it no more. I mean, people don't believe that shit no more. You know why? It's because Sanchez, like I said, used to hype him up, and then they were promoting the Canelo fight for the longest. Then he lost the Canelo fight. Then he ducked the Andrade and Charlo and all the big names or relevant names. And as soon as he fights somebody, he look exposed. So ain't nobody believing in the Gennady Golovkin hype train anymore. You know what I'm saying? People is off that. Now, as far as him being sick, do you buy that? Like he said the same thing versus Gabe Rosado. When Gabe Rosado moved up in weight, he said, the reason I look bad because I was sick. Like, man.
I heard that there was also some rumblings about him being sick when he fought Kell Brook over there in England with the weather. So he's always I think he was sick of getting punched in the face and in the body. So
that's what he said.
That's about it.
Right. So yeah, we definitely don't buy that. And it's just an excuse, the oldest excuse in the book. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is, like Gennady Golovkin, he claimed this Mexican style, right? But every time he fights a fighter that wants to go toe to toe, all of a sudden he goes from Mexican style to Muhammad Ali style. Like last night, instead of going toe to toe with Derevyanchenko, because Derevyanchenko was going toe to toe with him, he was like a Sean Porter. But Errol Spence, in that situation, he fought Sean Porter. He actually pressed the action. He actually beat Sean Porter at his own game. Meanwhile, Gennady Golovkin, on the other hand, man, this dude, instead of actually training punches or actually fighting in the pocket, he started holding most of the night. He started jabbing all night.
He was holding, especially in the 12th round. He was the one that was you get clearly sense that I want this fight to be over.
Yeah,
I want this fight to be over
exactly. That's what I'm
quickly.
saying. He was holding, and like I said, he was just throwing jabs all night. Now I don't got no problem with somebody throwing jabs, but when you claim you Mexican style and now you become Muhammad Ali style, every time there's a fighter that want to go toe to toe, it's just like it's pathetic to me because he tried to get the Mexican fans to ride for him, but like embrace your own culture. You're Ukrainian people, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does it look for Prince Nassim Hamed to trying to act like he Mexican style, and try to get the Mexican people to ride for him? Like, that's not what you do. If you want that, go beat the Mexican fighters. You should have beat a Canelo Alvarez, and then they was gonna ride for you. But like I said, instead of embracing his culture and claim he Ukrainian, but claim your set instead of out here trying to be Mexican and stuff, claiming you Mexican style, and that's not even you. Be you. He trying to act like a good boy, but he ran across bad people.
And part of that was like his trainer kind of instilled that Mexican style of boxing into him, and he doesn't have that training anymore. And we can't judge the previous fight that he had because that was just basically a showcase. But this fight right here,
ain't no showcase. He was just cherry picking.
Yeah,
because he had an Andrade fight to fight. He turned it down. He had a Charlo fight to fight for the WBC. He turned it down. And keep in mind, this ain't new. This is nothing new. Even when he fought Lemieux, when he was more so to his prime, because people gonna be like, oh, he old now. When he fought Lemieux wanted to go toe to toe. They were promoting that fight as Mexican style. And what happened in that fight?
Oh yeah,
he was jabbing all night.
I think he might have set a record for jabs landed.
He
threw a lot of jabs. I think naturally that's a part of his style. But if that is a part of your style, then you have to be conscientious of this type of persona that you want to put out there.
Exactly. And then on the other hand, they compared this guy to they saying he could be Hagler. They said he better than Hopkins. Like, that's what I'm saying. He's overrated because this is new media here. Old media was overhyping Gennady Golovkin, and that's why I say his career is a failure. And Jim Lampley co-signs what I'm saying, and that's his biggest supporter. Now, Andrade, after the fight, because the Zone interviewed Gennady Golovkin, and they did not even mention Andrade, like not even once. So Andrade was like, oh, forget this. He hopped in the ring. He told Gennady Golovkin, if you got some cojones, fight me next. Obviously, he didn't say that. I'm making that up, but basically that's what he meant. Now, the thing, what he told Gennady Golovkin is, Canelo Alvarez gave you a chance to be great. You failed. Now, give me a chance to be great. And I promise you, I won't fail. Now, Gennady Golovkin told him, I will. He will fight him. Now, is
he going to be a man of his word?
Well, that's the question. Is he going to be Big G or Lil G? Now, what you think about that and that fight in general?
I think that's going to be a very tough fight for Triple G, just because of where he's at in his career at this point. He's always had trouble with movers. Andrade is very slick. He's a southpaw, even though Triple G in the past has done pretty well against southpaw. The best punches to throw against southpaw is, of course, the straight right, followed with the left hook, and he does a pretty good.
Who he fought? That was a southpaw. I forgot his name. He was slick. The Cuban fighter.
Well, no, it was an American fighter. It was the big muscular guy.
No, he was a southpaw. Remember?
Yeah, he was a southpaw. Remember the big muscular guy but he was a slick boxer.
But he didn't have that much knockout power, and
he didn't have any knockout power. He's kind of a slappy kind of boxer.
Yeah, and, he fought him, but he didn't want to fight Lara at the time. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, no way.
But the thing is, does Gennady Golovkin have tattoos?
No.
Well, if he fight Andre, he gonna get tattooed that night. He gonna leave the fight with plenty of tattoos. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna pull up that fighter's name.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm gonna just state my thoughts on it. I think Andrade will possibly even stop him, I believe, because his defense is so horrible. The man blocked with his head and his body. Like, there is no way you beating Andrade the way Andrade fight and the way Andrade put in work. I believe Andrade will possibly stop him. If not, will school him for 12 rounds easy and take him to school.
So one correction, because I know a lot of people are going to be, so Triple G is actually from Kazakhstan.
Oh, I thought he was
And
from the Ukraine.
No, so part of it is that I believe him and Lomachenko have the same manager, slash promoter, that guy. So he works.
So where's Lomachenko from?
Lomachenko's from Ukraine, but Triple G is from Kazakhstan.
Oh, okay.
But these are all former Soviet Union.
I got you. And Derevyanchenko is from Ukraine too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ukraine is winning then.
And then so the fighter that I was referring to is Willie Monroe.
Yeah,
Jr.
Willie Monroe. He was supposed to fight Charlo too, but he ended up getting busted for certain type of PEDs.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, you know, I believe if he fight Andrade, he will fight him after the Canelo trilogy match if Canelo's willing to bless him the third time, because Canelo, he just don't want Gennady Golovkin to eat off of him. But he looking at him like food now. He like, man, this ain't even a tough fight, because Canelo was beating the crap out of Gennady Golovkin, but the 11th or 12th round, I believe, Gennady Golovkin landed a couple nice right hands. Yeah. However, he couldn't do that with Derevyanchenko. And what I think Derevyanchenko, like Canelo was trying to fight him Mexican style, but you could tell that wasn't his forte. Like he was trying to counter more so in the pocket, but Derevyanchenko was taking it to him. And one thing that Derevyanchenko had that Canelo didn't have was footwork. That was like, man, he was taking so many nice angles. He was so fast with it. He reminded me of a Sean Porter, and he was just taking it to him. Mm-hmm. So that being said, Derevyanchenko, I believe he looked good last night. He will give any middleweight a lot of problems.
He's a top 5. If you think about it,
he a top 5 for sure.
He a top 5 middleweight. He lost a close decisions to Daniel Jacobs. A lot of people think that he beat Triple G. Derevyanchenko, a lot of people just don't know about him, but the guy is a very well-schooled fighter. He comes out of the same gym as Daniel Jacobs, and I can't really. I mean, I would, of course. I mean, I would put people like Canelo, Charlo, and Andrade above him, and then possibly a Jacobs, but then he's sitting right there.
He's there. He's up there. I believe he will give Canelo a good fight. Canelo does have better hand speed. However, he's stuck in the mud compared to Derevyanchenko, and it's going to be a great fight. I believe he will give Charlo a great fight as well. You know,
I agree.
But anyways, so I hope he get his just due, because the man, you know, I believe he's like 12 or 14 fights in now, you know, so he don't even have that much pro experience. So he has a lot of amateur experience.
He has a lot of amateur experience. So similar to
Lomachenko. Yeah, they got almost the same name. Now, next topic is Shield fight was canceled.
Yes.
And the person she was supposed to fight, the female, her name was Habazin. I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, but I don't even know how to say that. But her trainer got knocked out.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Did you see the video, the footage?
I did.
What happened and all that?
Comes from the Crunk gym. He's a long time. I thought it was a despicable act. I did see there was some tension before. He's somebody that likes to pop off and do other things, but it's talking. You talking boxing. The good thing about talking is that usually if it's between the two pugilists, then they can settle it in the ring. Right. So what happened was at the weigh-in. So this was actually before the weigh-in. So Shields, who was coming down to 154 to get her third world title, she was weighing in. She was just checking her weight, and then he was kind of like looking at the scales, trying to see what was up. And then Shields' sister, who's a female, she's a stud. She was popping off to the trainer. She was like saying something, and then he like flipped, was kind of like back up, and then was talking mad shit. But it was talking, and then so somebody from Shields' camp walked the sister out, got her to calm down, and then so we kind of heard somebody was asking the trainer about, what's going on. He was like, man, you know, she better know her place as a woman, something like that. I'll knock that B out. And that's where the tape cut. When it came back, he was on the floor. He was knocked out cold. he was leaking from the head. I heard that he had to get surgery to fix his to fix some teeth. They said once he gets back to Detroit, he's gonna have to get maybe not Detroit, but once he gets back home, he's actually gonna have to get a second surgery on his jaw. I thought it was a despicable act. I heard he was sucker punched.
Yeah.
It cost Shields a bag for that fight. She went through
legacy. She
went through weeks of training. The other lady, I think, had been training for almost 4 months for the fight because it was this was the second time that because it was rescheduled because of an injury Shields had with her knee. I just thought it was a despicable act. It was a black eye on boxing. Shields came out and denounced the act, said that it was not somebody from her camp. She apologized to the trainer, and she wanted the fight to kind of continue, but the boxer, Habazi, she was not in any condition to fight.
No,
if you saw her, she was clearly distraught. She was crying, like holding up her trainer at that time, and she just wasn't in any kind of condition to go on with the fight.
There is no place for that in the sport of boxing. I mean, that was a horrible act, and like I said, I don't know who did it, but hopefully they catch the person because, as a trainer, let him talk his shit. I mean, obviously the adrenaline is running. Yeah, hyping up the fight, man. I was looking forward to the fight. Carissa Shield was trying to make history, and she was trying to make weight, and, she went through a lot. Now, they took that legacy fight away from her. They took that money fight away from her by making a silly and dishonorable act by punching or sucker punching the trainer. Like,
despicable.
I mean, at the end of the day, that was
guy's 60, 70
there's
years
no place
old.
for that.
And at the same time, now that puts a black eye not only on boxing, but on Flint, Michigan.
Female boxing.
But on Flint, Michigan too. As far as bringing out,
yeah. Oh man,
I'm
well,
really disappointed in that.
Hopefully they catch the person, like I stated. Now, on to the next topic, man. This is the topic we've been waiting for. I know y'all been waiting for this. Now, my man, Professor Nair, you better get this work on some Loaded Lux work.
Got that PhD in pugilism.
Errol Spence versus Sean Porter pay-per-view numbers. They saying is doing better than Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence.
I didn't read that. I'll have to get updated.
I sent you the picture.
It said doing better. Or
it's 350,000. Apparently,
that's the same thing that Mikey did.
Yeah, but they still added they still
counting.
Counting, yeah. So they already up there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that being said, now he fought Sean Porter, Errol Spence. There's no Mexican fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he outdid the Mikey Garcia fight. Now, this is prove my case.
Well,
hold on.
We don't know that.
Let me speak my piece. We do know it's 350,000. So that's already topping Mikey Garcia. They already confirmed that it's already topping.
I thought Mikey Garcia did 350,000 with Errol Spence.
Well, they saying it's topping that.
Okay.
So, anyways, that's as far as the fact. That co-signed what I was saying, which Errol Spence is the star. It ain't Mikey Garcia. That being said, you stated Sean Porter is as big as Errol. Now, do you take anything back? Hold on.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you take anything back either from, saying that Errol Spence is just as big as Sean Porter, even though he's the star in this situation, and you stated that Mikey is bigger than both, and you stated that Mikey versus Pacquiao is bigger than Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao. Now,
I did state that.
Now, Showtime is saying, or not Showtime, but PBC is saying basically if Manny fight Errol Spence, they predicting that's going to be 1 million buys. And I co-sign that. I believe so. I don't think if he fight Mikey, it will even be close to that. That being said, what's your take on that? Is you going to take anything back?
Well, no, I would never do that. But
what do you mean?
So,
you
so
stand
part
to
of
be
it,
incorrected.
Well, no. So part of it, if I said that Sean Porter is just as big, and then so that kind of justifies why those numbers would be there,
but
right?
He's not though. Like now you're trying to make excuses.
We can say that, but you
can't
usually
say that.
All right, so I'm a social scientist, and then so usually what we do if we want to there's something that you call where it's like analysis of variance, and then what you can do is you get like R squared, and then that'll tell you like how much this factor kind of impacts the difference like in numbers or something like that. So what I'm saying is that we don't have that, so we don't know
have what?
how. So we don't have the opportunity to do a kind of a statistical analysis and understand how much of that pay-per-view is attributed to Sean Porter.
Oh, now you sound like a real hater.
Is
now you
attributed to Errol Spence.
Okay, I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna explain it to
Go
you.
ahead.
Now, since you over here trying to confuse us, Sean Porter, he never been on pay-per-view.
Educate me.
Sean Porter never been on pay-per-view. Sean Porter never fought a fighter, and he has to fight a big name in order for it to be a big fight. His next fight, I promise you, it won't be on pay-per-view. Even if he Sean Porter. Mikey Garcia, if he don't fight Manny Pacquiao, his next fight wouldn't be on pay-per-view. Errol Spence is the guy. Like you taking credit away from Errol Spence, and that's why I feel like you received a lot of backlash when it comes to that. And I believe some of it is not like some people was being reasonable, some people was being outlandish.
It's fine.
But see, this is how this is like Errol Spence. Like this, no, but look at it. There's a myth that just because you Mexican, you automatically a star. That's not true. Because let me tell you something. Mikey Garcia, just like Oscar Valdez, just like Cruz, just like Mares, who are these guys? These guys ain't superstars. There's only Canelo Alvarez that's Mexican and that's a star in the game today. Before him, it was Oscar De La Hoya. Before that, it was Chavez Sr. And that's it. There's all this myth.
It is, but so
hold on. But
okay.
let me answer your
Finish your
question. We're gonna touch on that later. But let me respond to the fact that you say Errol is just as popular as Sean. First of all, that's absolutely not true. Errol Spence is the man. He the star, and the reason why is it all started from Errol Spence from the Olympics. See, we talked about it started like Gennady Golovkin.
He didn't medal in the Olympics.
It don't matter. He the one that everyone talked about will go the farthest in the pro games. Now, first of all, Errol Spence, unlike Gennady Golovkin was hyped by the old media. Like Jim Lampley, never seen Gennady Golovkin fight before. He already telling people, oh, this is the best pound for pound. However, Errol Spence, it was trainers coming out saying, oh, this kid is finna be the best.
Absolutely.
Like Freddie Roach. He said that after Floyd and Manny Pacquiao retire, this dude finna take over the throne. Floyd Mayweather co-signed him. You heard the rumors when Broner was supposedly the Floyd Mayweather at the time, the new Floyd. We heard, oh, somebody knocked out Broner sparring. Who was that? And then a week later, oh, somebody gave Floyd Mayweather a black eye. Who was that? And then it was, oh, Errol Spence got thrown out there. And then Errol Spence's name started building up. It was all this hype around Errol Spence. I didn't even know who the kid was. I'm like, who the hell is this? And then that's where it started from. Then Floyd Mayweather co-signed him. It was 5 years ago he was calling out Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and Floyd Mayweather told these cats while he was next to Errol Spence, and I know this because Dante interviewed him, he was like, y'all could fight him on my undercard for a title. Don't y'all want a title? Nobody stepped up, right? Then Errol Spence was billed as this boogeyman. Strap season, smoke season, all of that, right? That was building his brand. He fought Bundu, the guy who Keith Thurman couldn't knock out at the time. He knocked him out in front of, I think, 6.5 million people was watching that fight. 6.5 million because of Al Heyman and his genius by putting that fight around the Olympic time or something like that. I forgot how he did so, but credit to Al. But if 10% of those views became fans, he's already famous, right? Then after that, he went to Kell Brook hometown in front of 30,000 people and knocked him out. That's some superstar shit. That's some legendary shit for a fighter.
It was actually a TKO, but
Kell Brook quit. He didn't want no more of that smoke, right? It was getting too foggy. He couldn't see, right? He broke his other eye socket. So he beat him in front of all these fans, and that was a big fight. After that, he demolished Lamar Pearson. After that, he fought Lil Campbell, an unknown fighter. I never heard of him. He was his number one mandatory, right?
Not Lil Campbell. Yeah. Campbell.
He fought him in front of 15,000 fans, selling just like that, and nobody knew the kid, right? Then he fought Mikey Garcia in front of 47,000 fans, selling how many tickets did he sell? He sold, I believe, pay-per-view wise, he sold 325 to 350 on pay-per-view. That being said, that built his brand and all this boogeyman. Keep in mind, he was doing it in an impressive fashion. Then he fights Sean Porter and put on a classic fight. Now, when you say he's just as popular as Sean, that's why they calling you a hater, because you're taking all the credit away from Errol, because Sean Porter, keep in mind, his last fight when he fought Ugas, people thought Ugas won. They don't even believe in Sean. The last fight when he fought Ugas, he couldn't even sell out in his own hometown. He couldn't even sell. I don't want to throw shade on Sean, but he couldn't sell. That's why Errol Spence told him, you can't even sell your family dinner. The only reason he was on pay-per-view is because of Errol Spence. That's why Errol Spence's next fight is about to be on pay-per-view. Not because of Danny Garcia, it's because of Errol Spence. It's credit to Errol Spence. Is Errol Spence the star in the game? Manny Pacquiao fought Keith Thurman, and how much did he sell? 450,000 on pay-per-view. Errol Spence fight Sean Porter, the guy who lost to Keith Thurman. Mm-hmm. How much did he sell? 350,000. That's only 100,000 south of Manny Pacquiao. And Manny Pacquiao is a superstar in the game, right? Errol Spence is there with him. And keep in mind,
I don't know if he's a superstar now.
Errol Spence, look, why is he not a superstar?
When my argument comes out.
Yeah, okay. But listen, Errol Spence didn't have the luxury that that Canelo had, where he fought on Floyd Mayweather undercards, then fought a Floyd Mayweather. Errol Spence had to get it out the mud, out of hard work and dedication, and he still made it. And that's why people give you a hard time, because you disagreeing with facts now. You saying, Sean, like you saying Sean is as popular as Errol. We'll see what Sean do, where he gonna be. It's like Errol Spence told Sean, what arena have you sold? Where your next fight gonna be? If it ain't against me, I promise you, it ain't on pay-per-view. It's going to be back on regular TV, and you ain't going to sell out the arena. And I agree with Errol Spence 100%. Errol Spence is the star, but get to what you about to say so I could counter that as well. You about to get this work. Thank you.
That finally can talk. Thank you. So I want to say that, right, so when we talk about stars and superstars, right, there's maybe a handful of superstars in boxing right now. Manny Pacquiao, Canelo, everybody. So a superstar, for example, and this is an example that I got from I was reading an article, and I think it was about actually football. But there was this receiver, Plexico Burris. So he had went out to a club or did something, and the DJ had got on the mic, which is like, hey, everybody, Plexico Burris is in the house. You do that. So basically had to announce the guy's presence there, right? So a superstar, you don't have to announce their presence, right? Just their presence alone will necessarily shut down that spot. You don't have to, and he gave an example, like I think it was Deion Sanders, who was a superstar in there. So a superstar is somebody who is able to transcend the sport, where it goes beyond just the diehard fans in there. So Errol Spence is definitely a star in the game. He's one of the top pound-for-pound fighters. He's one of the most technical fighters, one of the most gifted fighters. And actually, to me, is very humble. Well, now he has been a little bit lately kind of coming out and talking some trash. I think part of that is
coming out of his shield.
That and it's kind of been a marketing ploy to be able to get more people interested into the fights. So my argument, when you asked me that question, and I was trying to be thoughtful in answering that, was that Sean Porter is known because he has fought Adrian Broner, he has fought Danny Garcia, he has fought Keith Thurman, he's fought Devin Alexander. So he's a who's who. So when you think about boxing,
they sound like a gatekeeper. Because
gatekeeper. Yeah. So gatekeeper. I think that he's, but out of those people, he's beat at least half of those guys that I've named. Now, Keith Thurman, not Keith Thurman, but Errol Spence is working his way up the chain, and as I said before, I believe he's gonna fight all of his pay-per-views fights from then on out. But so But fights, when it comes to selling those fights, there's a lot of things that have to go into it to make sure that they coalesce and you get those numbers. So, for example, Canelo, when he fought Triple G his last time, I think sold close to 1.2 million. Right. The last time that Floyd Mayweather fought,
did he?
Yeah, it was something like that. Because I was looking at the last.
It sold more than I think it sold less than the first fight though.
It may have, but it
yeah.
sold over $1 million. But when Floyd Mayweather fought his last fight under his contract, I'm not talking about the farce of a fight with McGregor. He sold less than $1 million. Right? What did he sell against Berto?
Oh, 550.
550,000. Now, we would never say that Canelo is more popular than Floyd Mayweather. But what happened was all of the ingredients were ripe to like make sure that fight was going to sell more, because people are really not that interested in seeing him fight Berto. That was kind of a throwaway fight just to, I have one more fight on my contract to be able to do that. So that's why I was trying to be honest, and there may be, and then hold on. I want to hear from the people also. If you think that Errol Spence, and I'm not saying who's the better fighter, who's this. If you think that he's more popular, we're just talking about popularity than Sean Porter, then I will acknowledge that. I'm
over here. I'm about to make you acknowledge it. So let's get to it. So you said that you basically proved my point. You said you proved my point. You said the reason Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin sold more than Floyd Mayweather fight, and we know Floyd is the biggest star, because when he fought Pacquiao, he did 4.6 million views, pay-per-view buys, is because it has to do with your opponent, right? Because
it has to be the ingredients, has to be the right weekend.
Gennady Golovkin, that's what I'm saying. Gennady Golovkin was a hype fighter, like we talked about earlier, and Canelo exposed that. So they used that, and that's why that fight was big. But Berto was Floyd Mayweather retirement fight. He was like, I'm just going to walk to the sunset and retire, right? Errol Spence, keep in mind, people didn't want to see Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. People want to see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. People want to see Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao. So these fights will sell a million pay-per-view possibly. Him versus Manny Pacquiao is a million pay-per-view buys. So he's just as popular as Canelo in that situation, because if he fight Terrence Crawford, we all know Errol Spence is the biggest star of the two, right? You
think that's gonna sell $1 million?
I think hell yeah, the way it's hyped up. Hell yeah, that shit going. That's our Hearns versus Leonard. That's our this is a legacy fight, the fight of the decade. They will promote the shit out of that fight. That's like our Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Not up to the scale as far as popularity, but they will promote it where it's gonna be a million pay-per-view buys at least. That being said, I know him versus Manny Pacquiao will at least crack $1 million. So my point is,
that has a chance. I don't think Crawford will.
It proves my point. Nobody wanted to see the Sean Porter fight. It was just stay busy fight and a name fight.
Nobody what? No, that was a good fight.
It was a good fight, but before that, they thought Errol Spence was gonna walk through his ass. They never thought Errol Spence was gonna. Everybody want to see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. They just know that this is just like a walk in the park. They thought it was gonna be a walk in the park. It didn't turn out to be. It turned out to be a fight in the park, but they thought Sean Porter was just another stepping stone. Give me your belt and let me, give me your strap before I take my strap and shoot you, and let me go on and fight Terrence Crawford. So my point is this: since you say Errol Spence is not a superstar,
I don't think
he's not a superstar. He's a star. However, name me the superstars in boxing today. Name me the top 3 superstars in boxing today. Yeah,
Canelo Alvarez.
Okay, Canelo.
Anthony Joshua. And Manny Pacquiao.
All right, we about to dissect every single one. So let me see these superstars in the sport of boxing. So Canelo Alvarez, his last fight was a unification bout against Daniel Jacob, right? That fight did 600,000 views on DAZN in the U.S. So if that's true, right, and that's a fact, that's how much they did. 600,000 views in the U.S., right? And that's a unification bout. And you know how much it cost to sign up for DAZN at the time? $10. And you know how much Errol Spence versus Sean Porter fight cost? $75. You know how much pay-per-views they sold? 350,000. That's more than half what Canelo did against Jacob. So if he did that, he brought more revenue for that fight than Canelo did for DAZN when he fought Jacob. That make him a superstar in the game. If you saying Canelo is a superstar, Errol Spence is a superstar. If you saying Manny Pacquiao is a superstar, and his last fight he fought Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman beat Sean Porter, was undefeated, was the last unified champion before Errol Spence became the other weekend. He fought Keith Thurman, did 450,000. Errol Spence fought Sean for 400, exactly 100,000 more, and he's such a superstar though, right?
He's a superstar.
Nobody's cracking $1 million though.
If Manny Pacquiao come and walk down the street, whatnot, he's gonna be rushed.
It don't matter. I'm talking about him today.
That's a superstar.
People don't care about 50 Cent, for example, my favorite rapper of all time. They don't care about what he did 10 years ago. They talking about who relevant today. What you did for me lately. That's the life of hip hop and boxing. They don't care if 50 drop an album today, he's not gonna sell 10 million copies like he did for Get Rich or Die Trying. He's gonna sell probably like 100,000 first week. Maybe after that, like he won't crack $1 million at the end of the day. I hope he do. I would buy it. But what I'm saying is he no longer relevant, but he's still 50 Cent. But at the end of the day, is what you do for me lately. Manny Pacquiao last fight was against a big name, and he fought Broner before that. He did not crack over 450,000 pay-per-view buys. And Errol Spence last 2 pay-per-views rivals Manny Pacquiao with only 100,000 south of that. That being said, Manny Pacquiao is such a superstar though. So Errol Spence is a superstar too. What's his name? Anthony Joshua. When he fought Andrew Ruiz, he didn't even sell out the arena in New York City. Errol Spence fight in New York City, he sells it out almost. They have to get they had to get tickets. They had to get tickets.
That was a qualifier. You can't say it sells it out almost.
I'm saying I'm not sure if he sold it out or not, so I can't say he sold it out. So I gotta be specific with my numbers. But I know he sold more than what Anthony Joshua did. Even though Anthony Joshua, I agree, he's a star in the game. I believe Deontay Wilder is a bigger star than Anthony Joshua because Deontay Wilder, according to ESPN list, he's the most popular boxer in the world, ranked at number 32 or 30-something as far as the most
athletes.
Yeah, athletes in the world. And
Deontay Wilder is higher than Anthony Joshua.
Exactly. Anthony Joshua is ranked number 63. Anthony Joshua just have the UK behind him. So what I'm saying is, this is facts.
That was a bogus
This
thing.
is facts. Anthony Joshua only famous in the UK. Ain't nobody know his ass outside of the UK. So what I'm saying is he's not a global star. He can't even beat Andrew Ruiz in the US. He's a continent champion because he sold
1 million pay-per-views against Klitschko.
Yeah, the pay-per-views, you know how much they cost? $20. Over here they cost $75. You got to put that in consideration. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury sold 300 pay-per-views in the U.S. and 700,000. Yeah, Google it. Google that shit. That's what Deontay Wilder told Radio Raheem. Google that shit. So Deontay Wilder sold
325
exactly in the U.S. And you know how much he sold in the U.K.? 700,000. So if you add them up, that's 1 million pay-per-view buys. So it proves
that's not how you do
it. That's how you do it. You just said, you just said Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko sold 1 million pay-per-view buys.
How come Wilder's never been credited with selling 1 million pay-per-views?
Hold on. Why didn't you just say Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko sold 1 million pay-per-views?
I mean, that's what they. I think that's U.S. because it didn't say that.
No. That was UK.
It might have been UK. But what I'm saying
the
is
US, I watched it for free on Showtime. Hold on.
But
the US, I watched it for free on Showtime.
That may be true, but like, why would they give Anthony Joshua credit for selling 1 million, but not Wilder? Like, why do you think they're hating on him?
Hell yeah, they've been hating on Deontay Wilder for the longest. Anthony Joshua turns down a $50 million guarantee plus 50-50 split and a rematch. He said no, and they put the blame on Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua sent Deontay Wilder a $50 million offer, and Wilder signed it, and they fought Povetkin instead, a drug cheat. So hell yeah, they covering up for that. So I'm saying is Deontay Wilder, they're not giving Deontay Wilder the credit he do, but at the end of the day, he earned his credit. That's not my list. That's ESPN list. Because every time Deontay Wilder knocks somebody out, it becomes a meme.
I'm saying, like, I looked at a list of the top pay-per-views, and
I just told you in the UK the pay-per-view costs $20. He did $1 million. I don't doubt it. But with Wilder and versus Tyson Fury, that did 700,000 in the UK. But in the US, it did 325,000. And it's $75. That's why the U.S. matter, because money comes in from the U.S. Tickets cost more. When AJ sells out a big arena, the tickets cost like what, 20 euros or whatever it is. Over here, the front seat tickets, you know how much they be costing? They be costing bread. Mm-hmm. When Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao, the front seats was like 250,000. Some of them were 300,000. You see the difference? That's why the money is in the U.S. That's why Floyd Mayweather. That's why Deontay Wilder was guaranteeing AJ $50 million guarantee plus pay-per-view, because the money, if he fight him in the U.S., money will flow in. However, in a big arena, it looks good, but the tickets are cheap. And just for your information, AJ, they've been giving out tickets for the longest for like free for fans to make it seem like they sold out. But like I said, it proves my point. If Errol Spence,
it doesn't prove your point.
What doesn't prove my point? If Errol Spence, then is Manny Pacquiao a superstar?
Manny Pacquiao is a superstar.
Is Canelo a superstar?
Canelo, that's my list. Yeah, Canelo.
Is AJ a superstar?
He is.
So how come you say Pacquiao a superstar, Canelo a superstar, and Errol Spence does just as much without fighting the fight that we want to see? Fighting Sean Porter. He ain't fight Terrence Crawford. He didn't fight Manny Pacquiao.
You've never quoted him doing just as much. You always said like he was close to it. You've never quoted him doing just as much.
450,000 is almost as much as 450,000.
But it's not as much though. It's almost as much.
100,000 make you a superstar?
What I'm saying is like his track record. His track record. It depends on who you fought. Is exactly. I gave you the example of when Floyd Mayweather fought his last fight. Even though Canelo did more than him against Triple G, it doesn't mean that he's more popular than him.
My case with that, because Errol Spence did not fight Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. He fought Sean Porter.
That was a unification bout. Sean Porter works for PBC at Fox and does that. He's done. He went on Sway in the Morning. He went on Breakfast Club. He did a lot of promoting.
I promoted that fight more than Sway did, and Sway's my guy. But I'm saying is this: you're not being fair to Errol Spence. The reason why
I'm being objective.
You're not being objective because Sean Porter, that fight should have been on regular TV. People was complaining about it. I report on this, so I know. People was complaining about Errol Spence and Sean Porter being on pay-per-view.
Why was that?
We're not gonna watch the fight and pay all this money because. At the end of the day, why are we going to pay all this money when this fight should be on regular TV? Because Sean Porter was coming off a loss to Ugas.
He didn't. It wasn't in the record. You got to.
You keep saying, no, hold on. You keep saying Sean Porter this and that. People thought he lost to Ugas leading up to the
He didn't. He got credit. He had a title.
It was almost a split decision.
It was a unification title.
Forget that. I'm talking about Sean Porter when he fought Ugas. People thought he lost that fight.
So it doesn't matter if it's split decision. Shout out to the show, split decision.
What I'm saying is Errol Spence fight Sean Porter, who's not a big name. He's a good fighter, respectable opponent only in the boxing community, and he sells 350,000. Manny Pacquiao fights a Keith Thurman, who's a bigger star than a Sean Porter, and beat a Sean Porter. Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman only does 100,000 more than Errol Spence. So Errol Spence proved that he carried that card alone, and he almost did as much as Manny Pacquiao. That being said, if Manny is a star or a superstar today, Errol Spence is a superstar as well, and he proved it with these numbers back to back, doing great numbers. And you're not giving
great numbers.
And you're not giving.
Come on, like.
That's why they call
let's be honest. Let's be honest. 350,000 does not make a superstar.
Name me a fighter that does $1 million pay-per-view buys this year. Name me a fighter that did $1 million. Name me a fighter.
That's going to.
Fought this year, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Canelo fought this year, did he?
He did.
Okay.
They both did more than Errol Spence. I didn't say $1 million. What I'm saying is I'm saying 350,000. I mean 350,000 does not make a superstar in there. I mean that's just my argument. That's just my. He didn't do 350,000.
How
He did with Adrian Broner. He did over 500,000. What did he do?
He did 400,000.
Okay, well that's more. He didn't do. I'd say he didn't do 350,000.
So he does 50,000 more than Errol Spence, and he's a superstar. Do you see what I'm coming from?
No, listen.
Do you want to take anything back?
No. Listen.
Get the smoke from the comment section.
I want to hear them. But I actually think that I just like listen. I can have my own opinion on the fact. I think he's working his way up, but a superstar has crazy endorsements. You're gonna see them in commercials. You're gonna do this. They transcend the sport. I'm just saying he's not there yet. Like let's let him do that.
He's on the way.
He's on the way, exactly.
And he didn't get help like Canelo did. But I'm saying if Manny is a superstar,
Manny is clearly a superstar.
Okay,
like
if he's a superstar and he can't.
If you are like a one name, if you just say Manny and everybody knows who you are talking about, he is clearly a superstar. Like, are we not really having that argument of Manny Pacquiao being a superstar?
Well,
are we really having that argument?
So the superstar Manny Pacquiao, how much did he sell?
He sold more than. I'll look it up, but he one thing I know, he sold more than Errol Spence.
50,000 more than Errol Spence. It makes him a superstar, but it don't make Errol Spence a superstar.
He's not there yet. He's not there.
Who's the bigger name, Broner or Sean Porter?
Broner.
Exactly. And and Manny Pacquiao only did 50,000 more than Errol Spence fighting a Broner, a bigger name than Sean Porter. And Errol Spence fights to Sean Porter and does only 50,000 less. So that proved my point. You just proved my point that Errol Spence is a superstar. So I took you to the Akhi University.
Really, I think that I think you seem a little. But you know what? With that said, we should probably. I just gave him his credit. I just said that he's not there yet.
So
I'd say that.
Why you say Manny Pacquiao is a superstar today, but you say Errol Spence is not?
Because he doesn't transcend the sport just yet. I think a lot of people. This is a 40-year-old Pacquiao. People didn't think he was in his prime. He was doing that, so you're not going to be the same draw throughout your whole career. But that doesn't take away from his thing.
Hold on. To prove you wrong, he was the favorite coming to the fight. People was betting on Manny Pacquiao to beat Keith Thurman. That he was the favorite to win the fight. According to Las Vegas, the betting odds and all that, right?
He's still not the same fighter because
he
was the favorite because Keith Thurman looked trash in his last fight against Josecito Lopez. No, and he had been out for 2 years or whatnot, and then he almost got beat up by the Riverside Rocky.
So who talked more trash, Keith Thurman or Sean Porter leading up to the fight? Promoting the fight.
Keith Thurman did.
Exactly. And how much they sold? 450,000. My point exactly. Now you're not gonna admit you're wrong, but you'll say you're gonna read the comment section.
I am. Comment.
Comment. I'm just saying, hey, you're gonna get a storm coming at you.
Bring it on. Will you see that? I want all the smoke.
Let's switch it up now. Hold on. What about the myth that all these Hispanic fighters, just because you Mexican, you a superstar in the game?
I never said that.
You said Mikey Garcia last time. You said Mikey is this famous fighter because the Mexican people are behind him. Well,
I did say that. The Mexican American.
So why Oscar Valdez and Cruz and all these other Mexican fighters like Benavidez, how come the Mexican fan following ain't behind them, supporting them, and they superstars in the game?
It has to be with who you fight, who your promoter is. But to give you an example, at the height of his career, Oscar De La Hoya was
a superstar. I ain't talking about Oscar.
Yeah.
But it's so far in between. I'm talking about like Canelo now, Oscar then, and Chavez Sr. That's about it. But if you're talking about, it'd be so many champions. There's so many champions from Mexico. None of them are star. They're like regular champions. Like we could say the same thing about Black American fighters. We got Floyd Mayweather. We got Errol Spence today carrying the throne. We got Deontay Wilder, probably could be a superstar. And we got back in the day before Floyd Mayweather came to the table. We got Tyson. We had Sugar Ray Leonard. We had Muhammad Ali. Ain't nobody bigger than Muhammad Ali. Period. I'm talking about.
That's
talking about
true.
as far as anybody. I'm talking about when it comes to sports, when it comes to a singer, rapper, whatever. Muhammad Ali, the most famous person probably of all time. So
Probably.
Muhammad Ali was what? He black. Floyd black. Sugar Ray Leonard. Well, Ali was mixed, I believe, but
He was black.
He was black.
Yeah,
But
he was black.
He was in half something.
Mm.
Oh. Anyways, but it don't matter. He got black in him. That's my point. Floyd, Sugar Ray Leonard, all these fighters.
Mike Tyson.
Why they ain't this a myth? Oh, well, black fighters always sell. because at the end of the day, the biggest star in the boxing and the most dominant fighters in the history are black.
Yeah, I mean,
all them guys.
I've never had that argument about that. I was just saying that Mexican fans and Mexican American fans are very passionate about their heroes or whatnot. A lot of times they don't have fighters who necessarily measure. I mean, what they do there. I mean, there's a storied history with them. And then we have had some superstars when it comes Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson was the superstar. Like, he started the boxing game phenomena and all those. He was just no. I'm talking about like video games. Video games weren't out there. Yeah. Some with Mike Tyson knockout. That was the.
So high. Since you say that, Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao approximately sells 1 million according to PBC. Mikey Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao. If they fight next, I believe it will flop. You still stick by your guns and say that is a bigger fight than the Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao.
I didn't say it was gonna bigger. I said it's gonna sell more. Like, bigger fight means that as far as its impact on the boxing game and stuff.
You think they're gonna sell more than 1 million?
I am gonna stick by my guns.
Man, is Mikey Garcia paying you? Because I need half of the budget.
No, I'm just saying.
Like, how is Mikey coming off the biggest ass whooping, and Mikey don't have nothing to bring to the table? Meanwhile, Errol Spence is a unified champion, coming off a classic win and selling 350,000 back to back, and he sold more than the Mikey Garcia fighting the Sean Porter, a lesser name, and he proved he had a bigger star than the Mikey Garcia. So how is you saying he gonna do more? Well, what are you going based on? What?
I'm just. Listen, I have a theory about the support that a Mexican American fighter would get. It's a theory.
How come Cruz don't have that support? How come Morris don't have that support? How come Mikey just have that support and it's not shown? Because his previous fights, he ain't been selling like that. Him versus Adrian Broner, a big name, only did 950,000 on Showtime, and that was free. So if you saying that's what I'm talking about, the myth that I keep bringing up, what myth are you talking about? If Errol Spence sold more than the Mikey Garcia fight against Sean Porter, the lesser name. If he sold more against Sean Porter, doesn't make Errol Spence the biggest star.
What do you mean sold more against between Mikey and Errol Spence?
Errol Spence sold more pay-per-view against Sean Porter than he did against Mikey Garcia.
Well, I told you one. It was a unification bout, and I think that Sean Porter did a really good job as far as putting that fight out there. He had a belt, and he was coming with it. The Mikey was almost kind of a novelty fight.
Mikey was trying to make history.
He was, but it was a novelty. He was. He's still a pound for pound fighter.
My point is, he ain't on that top 3 no more. He dropped
No.
to the top 10. So my point is, Mikey tried to be great. It was a big story, and he said he gonna do it. He failed. And Errol Spence sold more pay-per-views against a lesser name, which is Sean Porter, than he did with Mikey, proving that he the star in the equation, proving that he a bigger star than Mikey because he the one that carried the pay-per-view. So you still stick by the guns and say, some way somehow, a miracle gonna happen, and the pay-per-view between Manny Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia finna be more.
I think so. One is that I don't think Manny Pacquiao is gonna get. I don't think Errol Spence is gonna get the Manny Pacquiao fight.
If he does, I'm saying
it is, but I just don't see how we're ever gonna be able to settle that.
I'm asking
In my opinion, yeah, I'm sticking with my opinion. I think that against a superstar like Manny Pacquiao, I think that with Mikey Garcia, they're gonna think that fight is more on even plane compared that the boxing public, the pundits, the Mexican Americans, the Mexicans.
That's delusional because if you read my comment section every time I make Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao, all these Pacquiao fans saying Errol Spence gonna get smoked by Pacquiao. So they gonna ride for their guy, right or wrong.
No.
But my point is this.
That wasn't my analogy. I was saying that compared to when Mikey Garcia fought Errol Spence, they're gonna think that Mikey Garcia. Listen to my point. They're gonna think that Mikey Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao is a fight that's a little bit more on even terms. Because I can't think, well, besides Sugar Ray Leonard, and I don't know what he was thinking about. I really can't think of anybody who gave Mikey Garcia a real chance in that fight. But people,
like Sugar Ray Leonard by saying that Errol Spence is not the biggest star of the two.
Listen. That's just my opinion. Can I just have my opinion?
You have an opinion, but
Can I just have it there?
Facts.
I gave Mikey Garcia has only had one pay-per-view fight, but he's to me he did, but he that's
He didn't even go for broke. So Mexican fans can't be like, man, he went Mexican style. The dude tried to survive and failed at it. And then, like I said, I give him credit for stepping up to the plate, but he stepped up for the money. Because Errol was the biggest name, and Errol proved it against Sean Porter, selling more pay-per-view buys than Mikey Garcia, proving that he was the star in the equation, proving that even when he fought a lesser name, which is Sean Porter, coming off a bad performance, he still sold more. So I don't know if you can't see what I'm coming from, then I don't know, like.
It's a split decision.
You have this myth about Mexican fighters, and I was just explaining to you that black fighters have the same thing going on. Now, my next question is, who's the greatest Hispanic fighter of all time?
I think it's easy. Julio Cesar Chavez. I think it's almost a no contest. I can't.
I got somebody to go.
Okay, yeah, but I want to.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I believe Salvador Sanchez was the best Mexican fighter of all time that I've seen. Obviously,
that's a good name.
Morales, all them guys. But something, and Marquez, of course, you can't forget him for knocking out Pacquiao and all that. But like Salvador Sanchez, for the people that don't know, because people know Chavez Sr. as he brought up, but a lot of people don't know about Salvador Sanchez. So before you disagree, go look him up.
Yeah, definitely look him up.
Go look at the people he fought and how he fought them. The dude was so fluid. The dude had it all. He had great defense, great upper body movement, great power, great hand speed.
He was a beautiful pugilist. Yeah.
And people, what they don't understand about Salvador Sanchez, for the casual fans, he switched stands with his offense. Like Hagler used to do, like Terrence Crawford does today. But the only difference that Salvador Sanchez does, Salvador Sanchez, he will do it while he's being offensive. Like, he will, if you move that way, he will switch to orthodox fighter and throw a left hook from that stand. And then we'll throw more combinations, and he end up in a southpaw stand. He will create leverage doing so and confuse his opponent from all these angles that he's taking and all these different positions that he keeps switching to. Man, he was a hard fighter to fight, and he had heart. And like I said, he didn't finish his career how he should have. He
tragically passed
away. But RIP to Salvador Sanchez. But in my opinion, he was the greatest Hispanic fighters that ever lived, just based on his athletic ability and what he brought to the sport.
No, I mean, that's a very strong name. I think a lot of people, which may or may not be fair, will kind of punish him because they didn't get to see the rest of his career in doing that. But that's a very strong name to put in there.
With the time he had, I believe he showed enough to make the case for him, because he didn't even finish, and I believe he showed enough fighting the names he fought and the way he fought them, man. Like 15 round fights, keep in mind. Like he had a war, and in the 15th round he would knock somebody out while he was winning the fight, but it was competitive. Man, the man was a freak of nature. So that being said, I like Chavez Senior, but I believe his defense. He relied on head movement a lot, and I believe Pernell Whitaker. He's one of the greatest of all time too, but he schooled him too easy, in my opinion. But I believe Salvador Sanchez just brought too much to the table for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was one of my favorite fighters of all time, and fighter that I love to study. But on to the next. Do you want to any more thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I think that's a strong argument. The argument for Julio Cesar Chavez is just the work that he put in, his established legacy. Although I was not a fan of him during the time. He's one of those fighters that I came back and kind of appreciated. But I thought that the black fighters that he fought against usually got a raw deal. Yeah, Chavez. So Pernell Whitaker, and then the Mildred Taylor. That first fight was a tragedy, and it's why I don't f with Richard Steele.
And the rematch happened years after. And that
Yeah.
fight took everything out of Tarver, man. Man, the dude got robbed in the last second. Yeah, Chavez dropped him. And
2 seconds left.
But 2 seconds left. Chavez ain't gonna
Give a champion, and they were both champions. Yeah. Give a champion opportunity to go out on his shield.
Exactly, and he was winning the fight, and there was 2 seconds left, man. That shit was horrible, man. That was the worst stoppage ever in history.
Yo.
So on to the next topic. We have Sean Porter calling out Bud Crawford. He was on Max Kellerman, and Max Kellerman gave him the bad news that, he had Errol Spence winning the fight, but he had it close. Like I stated before, I had it 8-4 in favor of Errol Spence. I watched the fight after the adrenaline went down, and I just seen that Errol Spence was in control of that fight, and I believe that he won it convincingly without any controversy. Now, Bud won that work with Errol Spence, but he stated in the past, even if Porter beat Errol Spence, he still wants the Errol Spence fight, but not the Porter fight, because he's close with Sean Porter. He's close with Kenny Porter. However, Kenny Porter camp ain't keeping the same energy. They said if we can't get the Errol Spence rematch, we want Terrence Crawford, and they called out Terrence Crawford. That being said, what you think about that fight? What's up with Bud energy? Is it a style matchup that he don't like, or he just said that in the past because that's his people for real? What you think?
No, you got to think these are people before they're professional boxers. So once you build up a relationship, sometimes you have to get into that ring. This is the hurt business, and put some damaging blows to this person. And sometimes it's hard when you're looking over at that corner and there's somebody that in a personal capacity. I think that Terrence will give him that work. I think that he'll be, I can say, a lot more dominating. I think he'll be more convincing in beating Sean Porter. I love the adjustments that he makes. I love his footwork. I think he'll be able to. I think you'll see him box a lot in a southpaw stance for that fight, which is he seems to like that. I'm not sure which one is kind of his power stance, but he's one of the top people when it comes to making in-fight adjustments against his opponents. And I think that, once again, I think he's a lot stronger than people give him credit for. And so a lot of people, when they look at that fight, they think about Sean Porter's physicality and think that he'll kind of be manhandling Bud. I don't see that. I think Bud will have a concentration during his strength and conditioning. Well, he will look to get a little bit stronger, probably in the lower body also, so to be able to make sure that Sean Porter is not able to. Sean Porter likes to kind of hold people against the ropes or whatnot. He kind of like leans on them and kind of keeps them there. But that really comes from he has a really strong base, has thick, strong legs, so he's able to do that. So I think that to combat that Bud Crawford will look to get a little bit stronger in his lower body. But I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. I think right now that Bud Crawford, because he's with Top Rank, and they're
Bob Arum, let me inform
with Bob
you.
Arum.
Bob Arum said that They're not interested in the Sean Porter fight. Sean Porter is not a star. He only wanted Errol Spence supporting my case.
He only wants Errol
Earlier,
Spence.
He said that Sean Porter is this, Sean Porter is that. But what chance do you have if Errol Spence fight a Danny Garcia or a Manny Pacquiao, and what, Terrence Crawford just ain't gonna have nobody to fight? Like, you gotta consider these fights. You gotta consider Sean Porter fight. Like, so what do you think based on that? Like, I mean, I don't know. It seemed to, like, why Bob Arum is not trying to give Sean Porter any big fight, because Errol Spence keep building his brand while Terrence Crawford brand is not growing. By the time they meet, what the hell? Errol Spence about to take what, 70% of the purse? And Bob Arum talking about he want 50-50. Like, you keep letting Errol Spence build his brand while Terrence ain't fighting nobody to build his brand. Yeah. Now, you hurting your own fighter when he comes to the table to negotiate a fight. Now, what you think about, like, does he really, like, is Sean Porter fight is a must if that's one fighter that's willing to fight him? Because, you know, other fighters seem uninterested. Obviously, Errol Spence is willing to fight him, but he got so many choices around his side, around his street. So, what do you think on that? Like, what's going on that?
I don't think I don't think it's a point that it's a must. One thing that I don't like about, I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't like about Bob Arum, but I don't think at this stage right now he's gonna mention Errol Spence's name, because what that does is it helps attract attention to Terrence Crawford, but he also likes to keep all the money in house, meaning that he likes to match up top ranked fighters with top ranked fighters.
Exactly, but he don't have no top ranked welterweights.
Not any that we know about, and particularly he has an issue with Al Heyman because of the way that Al Heyman treats his fighter, which is in a very dignified way. He makes sure that they're paid. Bob Arum likes the more kind of slave. Well, I'll take that back, because
he does.
I hate I hate to use those analogies because they discredit actual slaves and what they went through in there. But it's a very kind of, I'll say, plantation kind of mindset when it comes to his fighters. And if you notice that the fighters who he did have, the superstars, they made way more money when they left him.
Oscar De La Hoya
and Floyd Mayweather.
Ruiz.
Yeah.
Mikey Garcia.
Yeah.
And the list goes on and on and on. Now, it was funny you say that. He trying to milk Terrence Crawford and use Errol Spence's name, because that's exactly what he did with Manny Pacquiao back in the day. He didn't want to make the fight happen with Floyd and milk Pacquiao using Floyd Mayweather's name. That's exactly what he did with Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. That rematch was supposed to happen right away. Then he stole Tyson Fury, claiming, Tyson Fury, an upset could happen at any time. Look at Ruiz upsetting AJ. So Tyson need to fight Wilder. Like, what are you talking about? That rematch was supposed to happen right away. You stopped it from happening. Mm-hmm. So Bob Arum, he trying to fool the media, but we are not a bunch of fools, especially not at split decision. So we know what you're up to, Bob Arum. But I believe, Terrence, since his contract is up this year, don't you think it's a good idea to leave ESPN and go to PBC? Since all the fighters are there, like his contract, I heard is supposed to be up.
Is it up?
Like his next fight and is up.
I'd be shocked that if Bob Arum lets his contract,
what do you mean,
goes up?
How can he do something about it?
He can sweeten the pot, as they say.
Well, let me say this: if Terrence Crawford, we all know all the fighters are on the PBC side. If Terrence Crawford re-signs with Top Rank, knowing that Top Rank treated him bad, knowing that Top Rank, like Bob Arum came out stating that, which that's my next topic. So I'll leave that out. But ESPN promote Errol Spence almost more than they promote in their own fighter. They promote Tyson Fury and Lomachenko more than they promote Terrence Crawford. So he's seeing all these bad things happening on his network when he's supposed to be this pound-for-pound #1 fighter. Why stick with them and not go to PBC? And if he does re-sign with Bob Arum, even though if he re-signs with Bob Arum takes 30% of his purse, I believe. 10% goes to his old promoter, because if he still signs with Bob Arum, he still get 10%. So that's almost 40% or 38% out of his purse. And he don't get the big fights he wants. However, if he go to the PBC, he definitely get the fights he wants with the Porter, with the Errol Spence, all these welterweights.
So it's a couple of reasons why.
So if he doesn't make that move, and because Heyman is not gonna sign you as he's not gonna take 30% of your purse as a promoter. He's a manager. So if he doesn't sign, if he does re-sign with Top Rank, will you give him a lot of slack for doing that? Because shouldn't he go to the PBC to make these fights happen? Doesn't it sound like he's almost avoiding these big fights if he does stick with Top Rank? Because he
I don't think that.
Staying loyal to fight to.
The thing
rank?
is, we don't know the inner workings between that relationship. So if it's somebody who you kind of trust in, and then they were able to build you to some level of popularity or stardom, then there's something to be said about loyalty. I'm not saying that he should do it, but if he did stay with, then I would say that that's a reason. Another reason is that he could be the big fish in a small pond when he comes. So if he goes to PBC, I'm not saying that he should. He can get to fight. It could almost be a welterweight tournament within inside that, but he's also going to be one of almost a dozen top welterweights.
But he's pound for pound number one, so it's gonna put shining on him because hey, I'm all around all these welterweights, but I'm pound for pound number one. I'm the man in the division. Now you're saying about loyalty, but Bob Arum just came out and stated, well, Lomachenko is more marketable than Terence Crawford. Peep this though. Terence Crawford, when he fought Benavidez, he did 1.8 on ESPN, the highest ratings ESPN had since like forever. Lomachenko never had numbers as close as that. Terence Crawford been doing way better than Lomachenko, even though he been getting promoted less. Even though he getting promoted less, he been doing better numbers on ESPN. And they put him on ESPN Plus, trying to kind of like get attraction to the ESPN Plus app and putting Lomachenko on the regular ESPN, where people ain't paying nothing and still get to see him. So do you agree with them statements that Lomachenko is more marketable, and Bob Arum keep having to make Lomachenko fight fighters from the UK in order to sell, fighters from Australia he talking about making next in order to sell the fight. So how is he more marketable when he ain't even selling in the States? So do you agree with them comments? And should he be what we stated earlier?
Should who be?
Should Terence Crawford? Oh, my bad. Should Terence Crawford be loyal to Top Rank and Bob Arum? When Bob Arum's saying some shit like that, keep in mind Bob Arum had the Pacquiao fight for Terence Crawford, but he stated he didn't want to make that fight happen because Pacquiao was too old. And then Pacquiao goes and beat the hell out of Keith Thurman and fights a welterweight. So why is he staying loyal to that? Is my question.
Well, no, I try to stay away from people's business kind of dealings. Like I don't like to be in anybody's pocket. So I'm not sure what kind of deal that he has in there. So I don't know the relationship in there. So when it comes to his legacy, I will say that he may look back and regret a decision to not go to PBC and basically enter into a welterweight round robin or welterweight tournament to basically see who is probably not only the best welterweight out there, but who the best pound for pound fighter it is. So he may be, but it's hard for me to give him flack for that because I don't know the relationship. I've never heard Terence Crawford state that he's been treated bad by Bob Arum.
He's not gonna say that, but you can see in the media like.
I mean, some people will. Like some people, like people call out Oscar De La Hoya all the time.
I'm saying what's happening. Like you could tell in the media what's going on. Like he not getting called pound for pound number one. He's like Bob Arum saying Lomachenko is this fighter that he never seen before, but Terence Crawford he's seen before.
He rides the Lomachenko train. But I've seen Terence Crawford on a few lists as pound for pound number one.
Yeah, that's my list. You see?
No, I think either ESPN or Yahoo had him number one.
Well, it don't matter. I'm talking about Bob Arum. He claiming Lomachenko is the pound for pound number one.
Yeah.
And guess what? He said Lomachenko has more talent. No. He said Terence Crawford has more talent, but and Terrence Crawford. No, Terrence Crawford has more talent, but Lomachenko is more marketable. But my question is, you just stated Lomachenko is the best fighter since Muhammad Ali. So what the fuck? Like, which one is it?
Yeah, that's some BS. But
also, don't know what he be saying.
Yeah, but you say he's got the complexion for the protection, as you say. So,
Yeah, so
I think that maybe that's Bob Arum's thinking.
That's what it is. So Pacquiao versus Floyd 2 in talks, serious talks, and Pacquiao talking about the fight might happen next, and Floyd Mayweather giving the commission a hard time, the government's a hard time, the freaking everybody, like even including promoters, every single person, he giving them a hard time for this rematch. That's what Pacquiao claims. So I'm saying, okay, if he's giving you this hard time, go fight Errol Spence. But what you think about the damn rematch? Is is it, ain't it out of nowhere? Like Floyd keeps saying
it's not necessarily out of nowhere.
I'm saying Floyd keeps saying I'm not coming back, and
yeah,
we keep
Floyd
hearing
always
news.
says that.
We keep hearing news of Pacquiao. Is Pacquiao lying, or is Floyd Mayweather playing with Pacquiao? Is Floyd Mayweather one just an exhibition? He don't want no fight. Like
part of it is
talking about a real fight though.
I'm really not that interested in seeing the fight. Just Floyd hasn't been in a really he hasn't fought a real boxer in what 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it'd be 5 years by the time.
It'd be 5 years. So I really don't want to see it. I'll talk about it because that's the thing to talk about, and it's gonna get us some views in there. So one thing I will say is that part of their job is to, with people like us, part of the media, is to manipulate the media by doing those things. So what you do is you put something out there like, hey, I really want this fight, but Floyd's making it hard, he's jerking around and stuff. So people say that, man, Manny Pacquiao wants that fight, but so if Manny Pacquiao makes a pivot and goes to anybody else, he's going to be able to say, well, I tried to do that fight. Remember when I put it out there in the media that it was hard to do this?
Floyd already retired and he's 43. Ain't nobody care. But so is Manny bugging? That's what you're saying.
I don't think he's bugging. I think that he's positioning himself to go and take on a lesser opponent when it comes to Errol Spence, but I think a lesser as far as their stature. I still think he's going after the Mikey Garcia fight.
All right. So if Manny fights Errol Spence next, do you see Spence knocking him out?
Knocking him out. Southpaw against southpaw to the body. I can't see that.
Manny
I can't see that.
He haven't fought a southpaw since 2008 or 2007.
He does pretty good against southpaws.
He haven't fought a southpaw since more than a decade ago.
I think the last southpaw that he fought was Diaz.
Yeah,
in there.
That's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but with that said, I think that. I don't think Pacquiao ultimately will win the fight, but I think Pacquiao has some good moments, and this is why I'm not hating. I'm trying to be objective, giving my analysis. When you throw punches in combination against Errol Spence, he doesn't catch and counter in there. He keeps his guard at home.
Now he looks to catch and shoot. He ain't no Golovkin. I block.
If you next time we do that, I want you to show me an example of him doing. Well, I think I'll take that back.
He did it against Mikey Garcia a bunch of times.
I think against Porter, when he knocked him down. But when you that was just kind of in there. But when you throw punches in combination or not, he actually, to me, he just kind of goes back and then he keeps he's very responsible defensively, so he keep his hands up there. And then Pacquiao is gonna do wow, and I can just see him having some moments because Errol Spence is gonna be responsible defensively, and it's not gonna do a lot of damage, but they're gonna be scoring punches, and then it's gonna get the crowd. So I think that Manny Pacquiao will have some good moments, and I think because of Pacquiao's footwork and other things, I just don't see Errol Spence knocking him out.
I see Errol Spence bodying Manny Pacquiao. I see Errol Spence beating the crap out of Manny Pacquiao. And Manny's my guy. I don't even want to see that happen to him. But if he fight Errol Spence, he definitely will retire. Keith Thurman said he was going to crucify him. I think he should have saved that line for Errol Spence because Errol Spence, that's what he's going to do. Because you got to keep in mind, Manny haven't fought a southpaw since forever. And then Errol Spence is not just your ordinary southpaw. He's a very technical southpaw with fundamental skills way better than Manny. Manny's more gifted. He's way more gifted than Errol Spence. But fundamentally sound, like, schooled is Errol Spence. He's like the perfect fighter you want to train somebody to be. Don't make no mistakes. Don't drop your hand. Keep your hands up. You know, when you go to the body, do this. Lean to the side. Lean to that. Errol Spence is that guy. He a guy from the books. And the way he fundamentally sound could fight in the inside. And that's Manny Pacquiao kryptonite. Manny versus Jeff Horn. Every time Jeff Horn came in the inside, Manny didn't know what the hell going on. So Errol Spence will body him to the body and to the head. I'm sorry to say this, but it ain't even a discredit to Manny. Manny's old as hell. He would get his butt whooped if he ever crossed that line and think he going to beat Errol Spence and get the strap because he going to get shot with one of these straps to the body by Errol. I promise you that. So Manny's my guy, but I got to be honest here and say Errol Spence will knock him to the body, to the head, one of them, because he's not going to be able to handle the pressure and the boxing skills because Errol could outbox him. He has the longer reach, and he could body him to the body and the inside because he's not an inside fighter like a Sean Porter. So if it's an inside fight, Manny ain't going to go toe-to-toe. He's going to try to be a boxer and box. So I just see him getting stopped in the process. So that's why I see Manny not interested in that fight and looking to fight, like you said, Mikey or somebody else. Now, if he doesn't fight Errol Spence and ducks the smoke with Errol Spence, would you hold that against him? Is he ducking? Should he give up the belt? Because if you're not willing to unify, should you give up the belt?
No, you shouldn't give up the belt.
Why wouldn't he give up the belt if you ain't trying to become undisputed and sell a million pay-per-view buys against Errol Spence? I'm saying the purpose of boxing is to be the best. So if Manny, I put him number 2 last time you asked me on the pound-for-pound list. If he's not willing to fight Errol Spence, his ass got to go because he no longer want to fight the best. He just want to maintain. I don't got no problem with Manny Pacquiao fighting. I will watch him fight forever. But if he's not willing to fight the best competition out there because he's going to claim he older and this and that, he didn't look old against Keith Thurman. He had enough to beat Keith Thurman. So let's see you against an Errol Spence. So if he ducks a fight with Errol Spence, you telling me you don't care? He could keep that belt hostage?
Yeah.
And keep us from an undisputed champ?
It's his belt. He's not the first person in history
What,
to
did
do
he
it.
own it and shit?
Yeah, he's the owner of his welterweight belt.
He owned the commission now?
He don't own the commission, but if the commission mandates him to fight somebody, they'll take the belt. But if he's not mandated, if that's not his,
well, they did it with Canelo.
challenger.
They did it with Canelo when he vacated the belt. He didn't want to fight Gennady Golovkin at the time. So
yeah, and that was mandated. So if they mandate that he fights Errol Spence and he doesn't, then take his belt. But if they don't,
I'm saying, but against Manny Pacquiao, you saying as an expert, as an analyst, as a boxing fan, you don't care if you don't see a unification bout, and that's what Manny been claiming he wants to fight is the winner between Errol and Sean Porter to become unified champion and erase his loss to Floyd Mayweather because that's gonna haunt him for the rest of his career for losing his biggest fight. You saying you don't care that Manny don't fight an Errol Spence? Like I said, if you're not gonna fight him, just vacate your belt.
I'm not gonna. No, I think that you lose the belt in the ring. I mean, how come we didn't take all the Keith Thurman belts? He didn't fight the best all the time. He fought Josecito Lopez.
He was injured. He was coming off an injury. I know. I gave Mayweather. I gave Keith Thurman the work. I'm not saying don't give Keith Thurman the work. Keith Thurman got the work. He's still getting called out for ducking Errol Spence to this day. So I'm saying keep the same energy with Manny Pacquiao.
He just got the belt like a couple months ago. Well, now you're trying to take the belt away.
Were you supposed to fight Errol Spence? Why you so protective of Manny, man?
He just got the belt. Like, let him make some money off of his belt. Let him do that.
Manny been making money forever. Let these young cats make money. What you mean? Manny been eating forever. He fought Floyd for all that money. If you're gonna talk about somebody making money, let's let these young guns make money.
Manny has some terrible contracts, and he literally gives away millions of dollars a year to
I
his
understand all
people
that
in the
buddy
Philippines.
talk, and he a nice guy and all that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the ring, you got to treat it. You got to be treated as a fighter, and as a fighter, he's supposed to unify the division. He have a fighter where it's not just a smart decision, it's a smart business decision, it's a legacy fight, it's all the above. Whatever you trying to, accomplish, that fight will do it for a Manny Pacquiao. If he beat a Manny Pacquiao, that's the closest thing to erasing a Floyd Mayweather loss. It won't erase it, but it's the closest thing because they're gonna be like, man, he beat an Errol Spence after, So if Manny could do that, it's a legacy fight, a big money fight where they're gonna sell like 1 million pay-per-view for that fight. So if Manny doesn't fight Errol Spence next, yeah, he is ducking him, and he should be stripped of the belt. But because they fight for the same street, they fight.
Harsh.
No, like why does he get the benefit of the doubt? Because they fight for the same street. They fight on the same network. They fight on Fox. They part of PBC. They signed to Al Heyman. You know what I'm saying? So what's stopping that fight from happening? Errol Spence is calling him out back to back. He was calling him out leading up to the Mikey Garcia fight and leading up to the Porter fight and after the fight. And Manny is not answering the door. Knock, knock. Manny claiming, hey, if you don't got the key, then you can't come in. You know what I'm saying? And who got the key right now? Manny got the key inside the room. So if you ain't trying to do that, well, give the damn key to Errol Spence, and that's the belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all I'm saying,
he should earn that belt.
Who should earn it?
Errol Spence. We're not just
by
gonna give
fighting
him
Manny,
away.
but Manny ain't trying to fucking fight.
We don't know. Right now?
What do you
Manny
mean you
just
don't
got
know?
his. We don't know who. Do you know who Manny's fighting next?
If it ain't Errol Spence, I could care less because that's the unification bout for all three belts at that division.
I mean, Terrence Crawford has a belt.
Well, Terrence is on the other side of the street with Bob Arum. Manny left Bob Arum. So Bob Arum at the time, like supposedly, he turned down a fight with Terrence requesting too much money. Bob Arum told him, look, man, I can't guarantee all that money. He should have made it happen, don't get me wrong, but he still was like, oh, I can't make it happen. Then Bob Arum, after Pacquiao left, he claimed, well, my man, I didn't want Pacquiao to be hurt against Terrence. I didn't want him to suffer a brain damage or something. So it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, now you saying that? Like, you're supposed to be promoting your fighter, if anything, because Terrence is your next superstar. That could have been his Oscar de la Hoya. Like Floyd was to Oscar, Terrence could have been for Pacquiao. So he didn't do that. So Errol Spence, they signed Pacquiao. What's the purpose of BBC signing Pacquiao if they're not going to cash out on him and throw him in the lion den with Errol Spence? Like I said, you're getting paid all that money for a reason.
I mean, what? So why are you on him when all these young guns and none of them have fought Errol Spence?
Well, Sean just did. Danny's willing to fight him next. Keith Thurman now, he ain't going to have a choice. So I'm saying Manny, since he's old and he only have one great fight left in him, I'm not trying to see him fight a bum fight to leave it all on the ring against a bum fighter instead of fighting Errol Spence. And it's to Manny Pacquiao benefit. He will make a lot of money since he wants to fight Floyd. It's a legacy fight. It's for all three belts. So Manny have nothing to lose. Even if he lost to a man Errol Spence.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to see that fight. I'm just saying if he doesn't at this time, if he doesn't choose to do that fight, I'm not going to say take his belt away.
I'm saying, is he ducking?
He's being strategic and
yeah,
doing
he's
that.
Ducking. What do you mean he being strategic? That's not being strategic. If that's the case, you're gonna make the boxing game everybody gonna be strategic and nobody. They
are. Nobody got mad when Floyd did it.
Floyd fought the best at every time. Hold on, we're gonna get to that. But this is like everybody want to watch the Super Bowl, right? Why? Because it's the two teams who went to the top, and now
boxing is not like that.
I'm saying
boxing has politics.
That's what I'm saying. You got all these belts. There's 3. Errol Spence got 2 belts. Manny got 1 belt. That's 3 belts. There's only 1 belt left. If these guys unify, they're almost at the Super Bowl. So that's what I'm saying. In every sport, NBA got the final.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm saying boxing has the same thing.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Boxing has never been like that.
They don't have tournaments, but fighters, at the end of the day, they have to fight each other because we're in here to see the best versus the best. What's the pound for pound?
There's only one. Like there was only one undisputed champion, and that was Usyk. or whatnot. There's like who's an undisputed
Bush ain't
champion?
no longer.
I know because he was there, but he was the only one.
Terrence was.
But I'm talking about at the time that was at 140. But you acting like there's all these undisputed champions because they do that. I said boxing. That's the goal, but boxing is not like that.
Why? Because it's all these promoters. I'm saying there's 3 belts with the same person, Heyman. So might well go ahead and make that happen. Like I saying, we in the sport to see the best versus the best. So if Manny claim he the best, and I put him on pound for pound number 2, he has to fight Errol Spence. If not, take him off pound for pound and take his damn belt because he's not fighting the best. Pound for pound is for the best fighters, the best 10 fighters in the game.
I don't know why you put him at number 2. First of all,
I'm saying
I don't know why you put him at number 2
because he just beat a Keith Thurman and he got his background. So if Manny is this fighter that everybody knows is, fight the best. He ain't scared of nobody. Will fight Errol Spence. And you claim Floyd. Floyd didn't do that. Against who?
Didn't.
Every time they named that opponent,
when he came back, he fought Robert Guerrero.
That's after he got out of jail and Robert Guerrero beat Berto. He beat Berto. Who should he fought at the time? Name me a fighter he should have fought.
When he got out of jail?
Yeah, who?
It shouldn't have been Robert Guerrero.
Who should it have been? Because
it should have been
Robert Guerrero.
So
name me the fighter he should have fought.
It should have been you want me to go into this? It should have been the whoever was the champion at 147. It wasn't.
It's Manny Pacquiao.
It wasn't. So he should have fought Pacquiao.
Well, why Pacquiao? Pacquiao turned that fight down. You said Pacquiao claimed he fight the best. Pacquiao turned that fight down. Why are you blaming it on Floyd?
So you said when he first got out of jail that he went right after Pacquiao. Floyd doesn't do that. Floyd was getting. What he does is like he'll take some warm up or
that's bullshit. Floyd Mayweather never took warm up. After he fought Guerrero, he wanted to fight Pacquiao. Matter of fact, before he even went to jail, he was trying to fight Manny Pacquiao. When he fought Cotto, he said he called Manny Pacquiao on the phone, and Manny Pacquiao hang up the phone. He was like, talk to my promoter. He said, I don't want to speak to your promoter. I want to speak to you. And Manny Pacquiao still turned down that fight the second time, still for a drug test, and he wanted more money. So at the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather tried to make the fight happen for a second time. It was Manny Pacquiao turning that fight down. Remember when you told me Floyd Mayweather didn't fight nobody at 140?
Yeah, nobody.
Who? Costa Tszyu? Costa Tszyu ducked Floyd Mayweather. He ducked Floyd Mayweather.
Why do you say that?
Because he got offered a fight, and he said, hell no, I ain't fighting that motherfucking beast.
No
After the Gotti fight. I swear, when it comes to everything, and I'll show you the interview. Do you want me to pull the interview up?
Yeah, but I mean, we don't have time for it. But like,
my point
so
is,
you say he was just like, man, I don't
want
no
problems. Smoke. He don't want no smoke.
Costa Tszyu.
Costa Tszyu. And guess who else? Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton ducked Floyd Mayweather too.
No, he didn't.
Ricky Hatton and Costa Tszyu.
He went and said that his dad. He did say that, but come on, Ricky Hatton is not somebody who was being avoided that time.
Okay,
he's not somebody who was being avoided. Ricky Hatton was.
I don't care about Ricky Hatton. I'm saying Floyd Mayweather. He got ducked by Ricky Hatton. And
listen, Floyd is all-time great. He's been ducked before. But Floyd has made some business decisions when it comes to
the best, fought every fighter coming off their biggest win, and you cannot compare him to any other fighter because if Floyd Mayweather is this high standard, name me a fighter that fought better names than Floyd and fought fighters coming off their biggest win better than Floyd did. Name me just one fighter other than Muhammad Ali.
That's as far as like champions beat.
Fought fighters coming off their biggest win other than Muhammad Ali and fought all these champions and in the fashion that he did it. Like, just name me.
I mean, Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya lost every other big fight, and he ducked Floyd Mayweather. And
what was your question? You said name a fighter who fought fighters coming off their biggest win.
Oscar De La Hoya ducked fighters as well. What are you talking about? Fighters.
Oscar gets credit for basically fighting.
Fought a lot of fighters, but he ducked a lot of fighters as well. Even the fights that he had close that like people felt that he robbed them, he never gave them guys a rematch, including Pernell Whitaker fight. So who are we kidding? Oscar De La Hoya moved around his career strategically like a motherfucker. So what are you talking about? Like, and he lost all his big fights. So Floyd Mayweather fought all these guys coming off their biggest win. You cannot name me one fighter Floyd Mayweather didn't fight coming off his biggest win, including the Canelo Alvarez when Floyd Mayweather was 37. Fuck the pretty stage.
He didn't fight Margarito after Margarito came off his biggest win.
He got offered more money to fight someone else. So why would he fight a Margarito who was a cheater at the time? And he fought a more dangerous fighter that was the champion that beat Zab Judah at the time, Baldemir. So if
that
he would have
not
fought
a more dangerous
so
fighter.
if he would have fought Margarito, they will claim he ducked Baldemir. He was.
I don't think anybody would have had a problem with.
What do you mean nobody had a problem?
Nobody.
The
because
Baldemir, the guy who was interviewing, and it's not Jim Lampley, but another guy. He told him, "Why are you not fighting Baldemir? Why are you ducking him?" And Floyd was telling him, "Who Baldemir? He just fought recently and beat Zab Judah. Nobody knew him before. They were like,
exactly.
oh well, he the champion now." That's what he told him. And what he did, he fought Baldemir right after, and he got paid like way more than the Margarito fight. And by the time he fought Baldemir and fought Oscar De La Hoya after that, he fought Ricky Hatton. But Margarito at the time, he beat Cotto, and we all know what happened in that fight. He had the loaded gloves and all that. So I'm saying
he's a cheater.
There is no. So you over here justifying the cheater, and you talking about Floyd ducked him. When I'm telling you,
you just asked me a question. At the time that evidence wasn't known, I'm just answering the question.
You saying you can't even name me a fighter that tops Floyd though. You can't even name a fighter that topped Floyd and his accomplishment fighting fighters coming off their biggest win. I'm talking about even Ortiz. He came off a big win against Berto. Even Cotto coming off a win against Margarito. Even Pacquiao fought Algieri, knocked him out or knocked him 6 down. Even it don't matter who you name. Even Berto, which was the worstest fight of his career, Berto knocked out Lopez. And Lopez, we still see him today, still knocking out cats.
He gets knocked out though.
Who?
Lopez. A lot of people knocked him out.
Oh, Canelo moving up 2 weight divisions. I don't care about that. I'm talking about guys at welterweight.
Maidana.
Well, Maidana beast. Maidana beast, and he fought Maidana twice after beating Berto and Lopez. So my point is, like, you got to give Floyd credit where credit.
I love Floyd. I'm just saying that Floyd. I just said that Floyd's made some business decisions when it's come to his.
He made some gangster ass decisions, and Floyd is the TBE of his time period, and you got to give him credit where credit is deserved. Well, if Floyd Mayweather is the standard we holding fighters to, you cannot praise Canelo. If you shitting on Floyd, you can't praise Canelo while you shitting on Floyd because Floyd beat the shit out of Canelo. If you shitting on Floyd, you're gonna shit on every fighter in the game.
Who's shitting on Floyd?
But I'm saying you said Floyd Mayweather's being strategic, and he
does. That's just being smart.
That's Pacquiao. You can't name me a fighter. Name me a time where Floyd Mayweather was strategic.
I just gave you an example. So he didn't fight Margarito when Margarito was the monster.
I just explained to you. So let's pass that.
That was a strategy.
There is no strategy. There is no strategy in that. There was no strategy in that. When you have a four,
that would have been gangster. After Margarito had destroyed Cotto,
that's when Floyd
and for Floyd to fight him, that would have been bananas.
Floyd fought the person that knocked his ass out. That's gangster. Floyd Mayweather fought Shane Mosley when Shane Mosley knocked the fuck out of Margarito. So ain't that gangster?
I mean, that was
coming off a 2-year layoff. Ain't that gangster?
I don't think that was a 2-year layoff.
Ain't that gangster?
When he fought,
he just fought Marquez.
Shane.
Marquez fight don't even count because he just beat his ass coming off of 2 years. Sugar Shane Mosley.
I mean, that was a good fight.
Everybody was claiming Floyd Mayweather was ducking Sugar Shane Mosley. They were claiming he was ducking Margarito as soon as Sugar Shane Mosley knocked his ass out. And they were claiming he was ducking Sugar Shane Mosley.
It wasn't as soon. That fight was a year later.
No, he fought him right after he knocked out Margarito. So I'm saying you giving Margarito all this props.
Like
Floyd Mayweather.
After Shane beat Margarito, he was out of the ring for a year.
Huh?
It was a year between Margarito to Floyd Mayweather.
You know who ducked Sugar Shane Mosley at the time? Manny Pacquiao. He turned down a fight with Sugar Shane Mosley after knocking out Margarito. You know who stepped up to fight Sugar Shane Mosley?
That's a good point.
You know who fought Sugar Shane Mosley though? Floyd Mayweather did after he knocked out Margarito. That's some gangster shit. So that's what I'm saying. Every point you're gonna bring up, I could counter, and we could do this all day. But you could give Floyd Mayweather his credit, and we could move on, and we could.
When have I not gave?
Yeah, taking credit now. You're taking credit now by saying Manny Pacquiao. Oh, I tell you, is he ducking arrow? You like, no, he's being strategic like Floyd did. Like Floyd fought the best, and Manny ducked Sugar Shane Mosley. Did Manny duck Sugar Shane Mosley?
He fought Sugar Shane Mosley.
Did he duck him when Sugar Shane Mosley? You know when he fought Sugar Shane Mosley? after Floyd Mayweather beat him. After Shane Mosley had a draw after that with a bump. He fought him after that. How you gonna fight? How you gonna fight Floyd Mayweather left over?
I think part of that was Freddie Roach.
Fuck that. Manny Pacquiao is his boss. He's his own boss. If he want to fight somebody, he gonna fight him. That's just excuses.
That's been one of Manny Pacquiao's issues. Is that he's not as
Freddie Roach came
in his
out,
career. He's not been his own boss for a while.
Freddie Roach came out on an interview with Dante, and he stated that Manny is controlling his career. He make fight happen. But if he not interested
I'm
in
talking
fight,
about 10 years ago.
That's what I'm talking about when he became the money man after being Oscar De La Hoya. But my point is, he ducked Shane Mosley and fought Shane Mosley after Floyd Mayweather beat him.
I think that Manny Pacquiao fought whoever Bob Arum told him to fight.
Well, he turned down a fight with Shane Mosley, and that's a fact. He ducked him, but fought Shane Mosley after Floyd Mayweather beat him and dominated him and had a draw after that with another bump. That being said, Floyd did not duck him, and he fought Shane Mosley after Shane knocked out Margarito, right? The person you were praising and all that. And I just show you a scenario when people was calling out, telling Floyd, you ducking Manny, you ducking Shane Mosley,
Margarito.
And Floyd, they were telling Floyd, you ducking Shane Mosley after Shane knocked out.
I'm telling you what I see. You asked me a question.
I'm saying this. Forget the question. I got the answer, Sway. Floyd Mayweather got asked on an interview, why are you not fighting Shane Mosley? He just knocked out Margarito. Why are you not fighting Manny Pacquiao? Floyd, next thing he do is try to make a fight happen with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao turned that 50-50 request down, even though Floyd Mayweather was the biggest star of the two. Floyd Mayweather like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to make the next biggest fight happen. Shane Mosley. Fought him right after. You got to give that man respect. By you saying this and that,
how am I not giving him
because
respect,
you over here
man,
trying to bring up, you over here.
I don't have to
Margarito.
praise every. So you think that respect amounts to everything? Oh man, he like everything he did in his career. Like I can't have any kind of critique on it. Like I can't have a critique. He's
critique where critique is due. You critique is something that's not there.
I gave one example of I gave a couple of examples where if somebody wanted to be someone to be critical and say that okay. You didn't fight the best when you moved up to 140. You didn't fight the best person
because
out
the best 140 pounders ducked him, including Ricky Hatton.
That's just like
including.
You're gonna
Costa
say that.
Zoo.
You're gonna say that every time. Like every time I bring up something.
Okay. I'm gonna bring it up. No, I'm gonna bring the interview up because you acting like I'm bringing it up.
We need to rap.
Okay, now you want to wrap it. So I'm saying. So you're saying he didn't fight these best 140 pounders because they ducked him. So what the fuck he gonna do? Put a gun on the Costa Zoo ducked him. So my point is this.
Like
hold on. Is Canelo?
We're gonna open up the next episode with that.
Okay. Canelo Alvarez. Is he ducking Charlo and Andrade?
Yes. Well, he's.
Yes. So yes or no? I don't want no explanation.
I don't like to say ducking as far as, but he's making a business decision to not fight them right now.
He ain't been fighting them for 5 years. They've been champions 154 when they were when he was champion.
Charlo, who's name one person Charlo beat at 160 that we care about.
He knocked out J. Rock Williams, the unified champion at 154 right now, and he's been ducked.
I said at 160.
Okay, 160. Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez, the biggest two names at 160, are ducking him.
All right.
Is that his fault? Just like you claim Floyd Mayweather didn't fight Costa Zoo. Costa Zoo is ducking Floyd. Same thing. Canelo and Gennady Golovkin ducked Charlo, just like they ducking Andrade. That's not his fault. He want to fight the best. He calling out Canelo on more than one occasion. He told him, I'll fight him even if he don't have a belt. When he got stripped of the belt for the WBC because he don't want no smoke with Charlo. He told him, I'll fight him without a belt. I don't care what he got. I just want to beat his ass. So he told.
Is you on the TMT payroll?
You know what Charlo told.
Give me some of that dough.
You know what Charlo told Canelo Alvarez? He told him, I'll fight you in Mexico. That being said,
that's it.
Check our Split Decision every Monday. We will host it and drop it every Monday at noon.
Absolutely.
Be on the lookout for the cookout. I just took Professor Nim to school today.
We'll let y'all be the decider of that. Also, I want to say, hey, let's get the subscriptions up, man.
Yeah, so we want to subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you can get notified every time we go live. And when we go live, y'all gonna comment live who winning the arguments, and I want y'all to drop in the comment section who y'all think was right, Akhi or Professor Nim.
Yeah, and with that said, so if we can get Akhi TV past 10,000 subscribers, we're gonna plan to kind of do something special for the show. Also, we want to push these. We've been doing pretty good numbers. I want to push them past 5K. So let your friends know, let your mama know, let your brother, let your sister.
Let the baby in the mama's stomach know. You know what I'm saying? That's how far we trying to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned, and we got a lot more to come. We still improving. Like I said, we getting the equipment ready as far as hosting the show live and all that. Professor Nim is figuring all that out. So if it don't happen sooner than later, it's his fault. So we working on it. But nah, we definitely on the roll, and
and for all the pretty ladies, we might be looking for a host.
So we taking job applications and all that. And any fight prediction y'all want, any historical fight, any imaginary fight, anything, any topic, whatever, just drop it in the comment section. Get a couple people to like it. Send it to my Instagram at Akhi TV. Instagram, all the links will be in the description box below. So just put on the comments, and we will discuss it during the show. Now, thank you, Professor Nim. It was a great show today, even though we disagreed. And, it's all right because, you will graduate soon. You were going to agree with me soon enough. So that being said, any last comment, any thoughts you want to say, and lay it out before we end the show?
Now, hit us up in the comments. And like I say, we want all the smoke. So express your, but come with some substantive arguments and stuff.
Main thing is, you disagree with Professor Nim. I know y'all do today, especially after what I did. So come at him with facts. Bring up bring up something he said and come at him with facts. Like, stop being all I don't like when people talk trash.
No, they can talk. No.
Listen,
all comments are good comments.
No, I'm saying
but I'm saying just add to it. Just add to it.
Talk I
don't mind it.
You could have negative talk. Okay, he don't mind it, but bring up a point. That's what he's saying. He want to disagree. We can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, like me, how I'm bringing up points, how I'm countering the thing he say. I'm out here looking like Floyd. I'm out here looking like Pretty Boy Floyd the way I'm countering Professor Nim. He out here looking like Sean Porter swinging wild and shit like a football player.
I'm looking like Roy Jones in his prime.
He looking like Roy Jones after he got knocked out. That's what Professor Nim looking like today.
All right.
So, anyways, thank you, Professor Nim.
All right,
pleasure. And we had a great time. And it's all love and peace at the end of the day. Salaam alaikum to all my Akhis out there and all my sisters. And peace.
I see, shout out, I see. Yeah.